Tales from the Podcast is brought to you by the following generous sponsorships.
The Happy Hour News Team. Check them out at www.happyhournewsteam.com.
TalesFromThePodcast.com, where you can pick up your copy of Tales of Shock and Terror #1. The Skewered Universe Podcast. And viewers like you.
How's it going?
Huh? What? Sorry, I was on my cellular telephone.
You would be.
I am. Yeah, usually.
Are you also wearing an onion on your belt? I heard that's the fashion.
It is.
That's the only.
As it was the fashion in the day. And we had to use the term nickety because the Kaiser stole our word for 20.
Oh God. Oh, so how's everyone's week been so far?
I fucking love that show so much.
Been going fine for me.
Massive depression, but here I am because I'm a fucking professional.
Hold on. Let's have a therapy session, guys.
Oh, Christ.
All right. Ron, you can talk to us. What's going on?
No, I can't.
You can. We might make fun of you.
Exactly. You're the worst you would be the worst therapist on the planet. I've been having this recurring dream where I'm dying. Well, could you just hurry this up and actually die already?
Well, I mean, like, first off, all right, let's talk a little bit about depression, all right? It's all in your head. You can just stop.
Oh.
I am the worst therapist.
You are.
See, that's the problem is that it is all in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so to an extent, I was right.
Yeah, but, I mean, the whole get over it is...
Well, I mean, like, have you tried pulling a Matthew Perry and taking ketamine?
No, because I don't have a hot tub.
Oh, well, I mean, on the bright side, at least you won't drown.
That's true.
I've had a couple of experiences with ketamine last year when I was in the hospital for my health issue, and
they gave you fucking animal tranquilizers?
They had to because of the amount of pain I was in when they were doing stuff. For
morphine wouldn't work, or
morphine wasn't strong enough to dull the pain when they were doing changes because at that
would
point
it stick to it and stuff when I was peeling it off and whatnot.
Anyone who has a weak stomach, and if you're watching this show, I'm pretty sure you don't. The wounds in my legs, they had stuck gauze in there, but it had stuck to it. So when they would pull it out, it was like they were ripping everything away. So the only thing that would dull that pain was ketamine.
That is,
and I hated taking it because I lost time. I don't know what happened other than
the
nurses came
time.
in. Yeah, the nurses came in. They did their thing. I have no recollection. I remember I was talking about wrestling at one point. I don't remember anything else. And then I came out of it and everything was done.
Is your butthole looser now?
No, it's actually tighter. That's weird.
Maybe they were doing ass kegels on you. But no, my mom, before the end, was on morphine and Oxycontin at the same time. And
So I was taking Norcos daily just for the regular pain.
Yeah, but Norcos are nothing compared to fucking ketamine.
No.
No, the ketamine, once it hits, I do not like it. So I don't know how anyone could take it recreationally.
Well, you have to be on Friends for all those years to be able to take it.
Apparently.
Yeah, from what I heard in his diary, Jennifer Aniston was so hard for him to work with that he was kind of forced into a daily regiment of ketamine.
Well, I'd still do her.
I mean, she was in Leprechaun.
That was probably her best role, though. Let's be honest. Ron wouldn't know yet, but he will soon find out, guys. He will soon find out. I can't wait for you to see the acting genius of fucking Warwick Davis.
He's probably the only good part of him.
Warwick Davis is the best part of everything he's in. That's not even. I mean, just like everything. It's kind of it's hard to argue that.
Even the conception of his children.
He was the best part of that. I love how his kids look like him. They're little.
Oh God. The thing about me is, like, when I get way older and I start to shrink, I'm just going to be average height then.
I mean,
I'm going to go from 6'4" to like 5'10", and I'll be like, I'm still an average height man with an onion tied to my belt, which is the fashion of the time.
Damn it. You're not going to fucking let that one go.
Nope. Fuck. Grandpa Simpson might be one of the greatest fucking characters on that show.
On The Simpsons?
Yeah.
I do want to say, since we brought up Matthew Perry and we were talking about Jennifer Aniston, I mean, yeah, she did Leprechaun. We all know that. She did Friends, right? Everything else. But everyone seems to forget she was also in Mac and Me. And she was in the Ferris Bueller TV series.
Oh.
That was really bad.
And the thing I remember her most from, which sounds weird because everybody's like, Friends. I'm like, there was a comedy show on Fox for a brief moment. I believe it was Fox, called The Edge, that she was doing various characters. Yeah. I remember that. Because a couple people from that ended up being on Mad TV.
My first time seeing her was Leprechaun. I was never like a big sitcom person until I got a little bit older. And even then, the Friends just wasn't for me. I mean,
it's not for me either.
Me either.
I get why people like it, but I'm just not a Friends person.
I don't really get why they like it. I mean,
it's the same kind of thing as Seinfeld.
Horrible. Seinfeld at least has some funny parts, though. I mean,
right.
Friends, there was not like I've seen a few episodes. I've never laughed. Like,
I never found Seinfeld funny. I tried watching.
You know what I think is funny is that Lisa Kudrow was dating Conan O'Brien at the time he took over the Late Show, and she's the one that pushed him to do it. And they're not even together anymore.
Well, I mean,
I've made these millions despite you, Blondie.
I don't think she even has anything going on anymore. I don't know.
She shows up and stuff. I think she does more indie stuff, but I think she's perfectly fine not doing a whole lot of stuff. That Friends money is set everyone.
No shit.
Up everyone pretty much for life.
Well, I mean, except for Matthew Perry.
It's the obvious exception here.
Yes. He flushed all that money right down the hot tub.
Lisa Kudrow's fucking net worth is around $130 million. I just want that to just think about that for a minute, because all right, I'm going over to her IMDb. Let's talk about her last few things that she was ever part of.
Let's not.
All right. She was in Space Force. Better Nate Than Ever.
Oh, that's the guy. I know who that is.
I don't know. Housebroken. Boss Baby 2.
Ugh.
Jack and Lou, A Gangster Love Story.
Oh God. Like
a Boss. Human Discoveries, Long Shot. I mean, everything she's in just is horrible.
The thing is, though, is a lot of it, I think, might be just for the paycheck and to keep her SAG insurance.
I mean, probably.
Because you have to act every 6 months to keep your SAG insurance.
I think the last good thing she did was probably a voice role in BoJack Horseman.
I've never watched that, but I've been told I should.
I think you would like it. It's better than it has the right to be. That's for sure.
It seriously lampoons that entire industry in Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do a really good job with it.
You mean Hollywood, the same area that put out Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2?
Yeah. In fact, let's go ahead and talk about this movie real quick, guys. So we are talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, released in '86.
Or born, or not even released. It was like hatched.
Yeah, I mean they didn't really try very hard in this. I mean, even the fucking little nicknames and stuff in this, like there's a lot about this movie that kind of irritates me personally. Like I really don't have a vast amount to even say about it. Like I'll just start off with the cool parts about this movie is we get Chop Top.
Yeah.
And I mean, other than that, I already forgot the dude's name. Me and Ron were just talking about it right beforehand. What's his name?
Tom Morga.
Yeah, so we get him, the only person to ever play Leatherface, Michael Myers, and Jason Voorhees. But I mean, other than that, we really don't get too much. We get Dennis Hopper in this movie as Lefty.
Lefty Enright.
Yes.
Who's obviously created for the film. He because they never say Sally Hardesty Enright in the first movie. It's always just Sally Hardesty. So where did the Enright come from? if
Right.
Sally and Franklin are his niece and nephew?
Doesn't necessarily mean they would have the same last name, though.
Yeah.
Right, I understand that, but where's the Enright come from? You know what I mean? It's like
could be on the mother's side.
Maybe, but like for her to have two last names, you figure that they would mention it. You know, I understand it. I get it. It's a fucking movie, but they changed so much. You know what I mean? And then like she slipped into Catatonia. Like what? What? No, because in 2022, never mind.
I get it. I mean,
look, 2022 is an alternate timeline, and we'll get there.
Yeah,
that's what happened. See, that's what happened when the time stone wasn't taken back and replaced at the right point in time, and then we had.
All right, just relax.
I'd much rather have seen Stretch.
Same thing with me and Intern. Me and Intern have different last names too.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know though, man. This movie is still a really rough watch.
I've seen it like 100 times, and I used to just kind of let it go. But when you sit there and you watch it and you pay attention to it, you're kind of like, it's almost like, okay, as a wrestling fan, other wrestling fans will get this. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is a promo by The Rock. It's all flash and no substance.
There's a lot of flash, that's for sure. I mean,
a lot of one-liners, one little like, Leatherface hump in the air with his fucking chainsaw. Like, what the fuck, man?
I mean, he did have a very seductive chainsaw on this one. We have to give him that. I mean, which is a very different Leatherface or Bubba.
Yeah.
Than this one. I mean, it's a very different sequel. I'd also argue it's probably the only sequel where it seems like there is still somewhat of a timeline established.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I would argue that when we get to 3D, that's for my money, that's the only official sequel directly to Part 1 because it picks up right after Sally has escaped.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but I mean, just like as like the original set, the movies. I mean, like it seems like.
And John Dugan came back to play Grandpa.
Oh, Grandpa.
This one, and I'll just say it right now. I really like this one because it's just batshit fucking bonkers. And that was Hooper's attempt to go, well, you guys didn't pick up on the humor in the first one, so I'm going to showcase it in this one to show you. The first one does have its dark comedy.
Yeah, look what your brother did to the door. It gets me every fucking time.
Dude, there's part of me that wants to turn this movie off, though, every time I see a chainsaw fight.
But there was also a huge thing. I was watching a video earlier, apparently, because this is a canon movie. Ugh. Okay, so we all know the reputation with canon.
Yeah.
But apparently, they had so much money allotted for this, and then they turned around and went, no, they pulled back the money.
Well, the only reason he got to do this, or the only reason he did this is so he could do Invaders from Mars, Life Force, and then one other one, I think. And then, but he
Those
had to
all
agree
got-
to do this one.
Those were all done before.
Yeah, but he had to
Yeah.
agree to do this one.
Yeah, and because the money was pulled, he wasn't going to direct this movie. It was going to be directed by somebody else. They hadn't found a director yet, and when they pulled that money and the budget was slashed so severely, Hooper was like, "Well, I guess I'm fucking directing this," and then leaned heavily into that comedy element because he always felt the original was a dark comedy, and too many people weren't picking up on those things.
And Hooper does make an appearance in the film.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
And just to point out, last week I definitely pointed out the dark humor in this movie.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
we
it's
know it's there.
clearly there.
Triple Xmas. I have my thoughts.
Or not last week, the week before. My bad.
Week before.
Yeah.
I have my thoughts.
I will say though, even with losing money, they still get Tom Savini coming in with special
Mhm.
effects, which I mean, he's no Kevin Yeager, but I guess he's okay enough for Texas Chainsaw 2.
Kevin Yeager is somebody that probably looked up to Savini while he was working on stuff. I mean,
don't know. I
I
don't
agree.
know.
Savini has
100%.
been part of some of the most groundbreaking effects we've seen in movies.
You don't think Kevin Yeager has?
Now you got him looking it up.
I don't know if Kevin Yeager has a whole school that
Yeah.
has probably had students
Yeah.
working on damn near every movie that has come
He
out.
has a whole
in the last
fucking he
whatever
has his
years.
whole thing. Yeah,
I
I
hated
didn't
my
know
mom
that.
and
I
dad
know
fight.
Savini does.
and and Yeager, you know, he didn't start out as like. I mean, he's still very early 80s. I mean, I don't know if you could even say it was long enough to idolize Savini.
Also, Savini's school doesn't just do special effects; it also teaches filmmaking and all sorts of
Mhm.
other stuff too.
They
So
do art classes, but
Yeah.
Savini doesn't teach every class either.
no, but they're handpicked people by Tom.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still.
He's not there in the day to day, but he does still go there and see how things are going.
Right.
Yeah,
All I'm gonna say though is when Weird Al needed makeup work done for his music video for Fat, he did not call Tom Savini. He got Kevin Yeager.
well, it's because he wasn't exploding at the end.
I'm just
I
saying.
mean,
You know, I mean, but
probably wasn't early enough. Kevin Yeager's career probably started close enough to being not too far behind Savini, where he didn't idolize him. But I can say we're in that industry. It was
he
probably
started
someone
off
he looked
on
up to
the
as a
final
peer.
chapter.
Who did?
Kevin Yeager.
Yeah, and that was Savini.
He was the Kevin Yeager did the special effects makeup for Friday the 13th.
No, that was Tom Savini.
No.
Yes,
Well,
it was.
He was part of it too, but I'm saying Kevin Yeager.
No,
worked on
Savini's
it,
whole
too.
thing with part 4 was
I'm
they
coming
said,
back
"Will
to
you
kill
come
my
back?"
kid.
He
Yeah.
said, "If I can kill Jason, I'll come back and do it."
Yeah,
Savini was heavily behind those effects. Anyone else was
So if
assisting him in
Yeager,
his
yeah,
movie.
so if Yeager started on the final chapter, then Savini had him by a lot because he had done Martin, he had done Dawn, he had done The Prowler, he had done
the first
nothing
instance,
great though.
the first thing
Oh,
I
fuck
know
you.
of Kevin Yeager doing was Nightmare 2.
No, the first thing
because-
that Yeager did was the final chapter.
No, go
was-
back. Kevin Yeager is the one who redesigned the Robert Englund Freddy makeup for part 2.
He did do that, but
Yeah.
that wasn't until '85. He did final chapter and Radioactive Dreams before that. He did all the prosthetic makeup effects for Radioactive Dreams in '84.
Okay.
Oh, you mean that movie that I'm just now hearing about?
Well, you guys asked. I mean,
I didn't.
No,
Y'all
that's fine.
Mom
I'm
and Dad
saying-
are here fighting over fucking Tom Savini and Kevin Yeager's balls.
I'm just saying the first thing I knew Yeager did was
Freddy's Revenge.
Friday part 2. Yes.
Yeah. But he also did part 3. He did the '86 or the '87, the TV series for Beauty and the Beast, the Hidden, Nightmare 4, 976 Evil, all the Bill and Ted, all of the Freddy's Nightmares. You got all of
Yeager,
the,
Yeager is a prolific name. I'm saying is starting out early. He was probably someone that looked up to Savini as someone he wanted to aspire to. A lot of these guys starting out, I mean, Nicotero was starting with Savini and was like, yeah, this is a guy that I wanted to
On
be like,
on
and look at
day.
where it's at now. Yeah.
maybe.
And
I'd
look
like
at where
to
K
think
and B
that-
has gone now. K and B is
Howard Berger started. I think he came in at Nightmare 4, and Kevin Yeager had to tell him, "Look, just hold Robert down and put the makeup on him. He's gonna keep talking."
Yep.
Oh no. Fucking Yeager did 2 movies that really disturbed me. that have always stuck with me too, because he did the movie that nobody's ever seen or heard of from '95, which I remember getting the video for it, which was Rumpelstiltskin, which that movie fucked me up as a little kid.
I've not seen it, but I know the name.
And then the movie that probably messed me up the most over my entire life, 1996's The Dentist.
Not Dr. Giggles?
Hey,
Say-
that is
say
some of
what you
Corbin
want to.
Burnsen's best
That-
work.
Fucked me up. That was
That is a second performance to Major League for Corbin Burnson.
Now, what are you referring to? Who did they fire?
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm trying to rack my brain. I'm like, who is he referring to?
I know
saw
they
it and tried
fired-
to think this
I
was
know
something.
Like,
Halloween 4
Academy
fired
Award
someone.
Artist. Let's see who was all the artist work in this. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No, he's saying somebody got fired from Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, you are the Ron Pertie Show Friday the 13th trivia
Winston.
champion.
Okay,
Stan
yeah,
Winston, yeah.
Winston, yeah.
I thought he was supposed to do part 2.
maybe.
I mean, still, we're talking about Chainsaw, kind of, and I'm still
Mhm.
repping the mask, baby.
I mean,
And I got the better
you
one.
have to. I mean, you have
Well,
to.
the other one's in the dishwasher.
Fucking A. But no, I mean, I don't know. This is gonna get fucking out of hand. Like, I personally still think Kevin Yeager's better. I mean, Tom Savini has his things, but
Hey, I think there's highs and lows to every effects artist career. Like when people say Rob Bottin, to me immediately I think of The Thing. Other people may think of The Howling.
I think
It's
The
all.
Howling-
See, I think of The Thing because that was the first stuff I knew about Rob Bottin doing.
All I think about when I hear names like this is how quickly can I get out of this conversation?
All right. Well, let's talk about how quickly we can get out of it. So let's go back to the beginning of this episode.
Yes.
So Ron, what's on
No,
your
no, let's
mind?
go back to Chainsaw, please.
Therapist Justin here, ready
Yes.
to help you with all your
Yeah, because that's how therapists call themselves. Yes, I'm Therapist Justin.
right. I mean, like, I don't know what title they're given. Like, it makes me think of the Seinfeld episode with the maestro. It's like,
Oh my god!
What do you want to do with your life?
all right,
Go to therapy with Thera JB.
right. And the only therapy type thing I give you is a prescription for Theraflu because it sounds like therapy, and we're just gonna fix all your problem with flu medicine. And if you have a problem and it doesn't work, I strongly suggest taking more medicine.
If you got a problem, yo, I'll solve it.
Check out the hook when my DJ revolves it.
I'm not even going to add into it. I'm not going to go into the chorus for
Go
you guys.
JB, go JB, go.
I mean,
Because we all know Ninja Rap was written by Frank Miller.
the Ninja Rap is probably the coolest rap song ever made.
Okay, you know what else is really cool is Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Chop Top
too.
is fun. Chop Top.
The
is
only
fun.
cool part about Texas
You know how you guys
Chainsaw
know how he
Massacre
got
is
that role, right?
Texas Chainsaw Manicure.
He would do
Yep.
anything for that role. He was fucking bending.
Well, no,
over
he sent
backwards
in a
to
tape.
shave
He
his-
sent in a tape where he was playing the hitchhiker in Texas Chainsaw Manicure, and that's why he got the gig as Chop Top. And he
Well-
also, and we'll get to this in Texas Chainsaw 3D, but he does a really good rendition of Jim Seadow's Cook.
He's brilliant.
Yeah,
But he spent enough time with him to know the mannerisms and how the cadence of.
and
his
you can
speech
tell
everything.
that Dan Yeager studied Gunner when he
Yeah.
went back and played Leatherface from 1973. So it's, I mean, we'll get to 3D.
I mean, they're fucking Bill Moseley, man. Like, I don't know if any of you guys got a chance to see some of the stuff that he actually was saying, like during like some of the like behind the scene interviews with him and shit. Too.
I haven't seen any of the behind the scenes stuff. Really.
Okay, well, like for this role, like he was asked to shave his head, and during the interview, he's like, "I would have shaved my ass and walked backwards to keep this role." Like, this is something he really, really wanted. He was like begging for this role. Like Bill Moseley was like, what would all the kids call it this day? Thirsty.
Yes.
Like,
Well, not only that, but what really sucks is because this is a canon film, we're not going to get Chop Top in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
does that surprise you?
No, I guess not.
I mean,
we can hope. We can hope, but
I mean, all three of us played the Friday the 13th game, right?
mm-hmm.
So we kind of knew that eventually we'd run into problems with the Texas Chainsaw one, right?
Yeah. Well, the
Yeah.
Evil Dead one's basically dead.
I know.
I wanted
Well,
to
they
get that
didn't-
one so bad, and then my PS4 just jet
I
engine.
have it,
So I was
but I
like,
mean,
well, I'm
it's
not getting it.
basically dead, like Ron said. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. It's kind of what sucks. It seems like these games that come out based on these movies, they don't get a lot of hype behind them. But then there's a lot of people on YouTube playing them for about 2 weeks, and then it's just like, they're dead. We're
Yeah.
done with it. We beat them, so we're tired of it. And developers
Well,
go, it's dead.
Evil
Shut down the
Dead,
servers. Like,
Evil Dead. There was something else that happened. I forget what it was. And Friday was the lawsuit. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know what's going. I don't think Chainsaw's dead yet. But
almost. I mean, they're playing.
I haven't played it in a long time.
I have it waiting, and I just haven't loaded it in yet.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Like a lot of massive, like big games like that are dying down. Like even Destiny's getting to the point where they're giving away all of it with the legacies, all the shit for free now.
Watch it. I love
Well,
that.
I'm just saying though, like they're
Yeah.
giving you fucking $150 worth of fucking video game shit for fucking free. You know, that's a pretty big sign. that
Well,
they're
you
doing
got to
bad.
also remember that Bungie had to lay a lot of people off recently, and it's just, and plus you had Lance Reddick, who did Commander Zavala, died, and they had to bring in. Did you hear who they brought in to play him now?
No.
They didn't kill the character off. They just got a different voice actor. Keith David.
Really?
Yep.
Hmm.
So at one point in the game, Commander Zavala is going to get into a fight with you in an alley over sunglasses.
I love it. So, anyways, Texas Chainsaw 2, guys. I know it's really hard for us to talk about this one.
It's just there.
It is. I mean, all right, you know, I'm just gonna go with it. I mean, because to me, the best part about this movie is we get Chop Top, we get a really cool Breakfast Club fucking remake, fucking poster for this movie. It's overall just not even the dark humor in it. I wouldn't say is like super great.
No.
I mean, the writing behind this with Carson,
Kit Carson.
yeah, and Toby Hooper. Just, I mean, it's sad to say because I mean, you know, Toby worked on the first one. You know, he did a lot of that shit. He worked on Poltergeist. I mean, the guy's done so many fucking really, really cool things, but he really fucking just.
I kind of feel like he
was
phoned it
good
in
on
with this one.
This just wasn't good. I mean, I wish it was a better movie. It's okay considering. I mean, personally, I'd give this movie probably a 4.5. I mean, maybe a 5 tops. It's there. It's something. It takes away all the things that I love about the original. There's a lot of gore, blood. I mean, it's just not it's not what I loved about the original movie. It's not there's none of the shit in, that actually made the original scary. They took all of that out. And
True,
even
but I
if
think
even if they were going for the dark comedy aspect for the entire movie, I mean, they still didn't even nail that good. You know?
see, I think it's perfectly fine. I'm not saying it's like the pinnacle of filmmaking, but I don't think it tries to be anything more than it is. I think Hooper knew exactly what he was trying to do here.
I don't think he was trying very hard.
And did it. Plus, I think the fact with the gore probably came into account from Canon going, hey, we have the Texas Chainsaw movie now. We're going to do this whole thing. But it's 86. Think of the movies that were coming out in 86. A bunch of slashers, a bunch of blood and gore and crazy kills. So they were trying to be like everyone else. Canon was always trying to be like everyone else. So even though this is a Hooper thing, I feel like Canon was probably like, we got to push the envelope. We really got to.
Yeah, Golem Globus were a couple of fucking, yeah.
I mean, this movie didn't even get released with a rating. It was released unrated.
They were going to get Joe Zito to direct the Spider-Man movie.
All I'm
It's
gonna
really
say is like
fucking weird.
Yeah.
I gave the original a 10. I wouldn't go any higher than a fucking 5 on this one. And to me, that's still a disappointment.
If you don't, but here's the thing: is if you don't go lower than that on part 3, I will definitely have your head examined.
Well, I mean, we haven't hit part 3 yet.
But the thing about that is, like, I went to go rewatch this, and it's on Max, so I went to look on Max. But have you gone to the Max website lately?
No.
It is nothing but Barbie. Like, instead of like, it's like, can you, films that inspired Barbie or inspired Greta Gerwig to make Barbie? One of them's 2001: A Space Odyssey. What? I don't think I can do that, Barbie.
Oh no. I have
Hey,
this
you
movie
know
on
what?
Blu-ray, so
I'm just gonna say it. I think because Barbie was such a huge thing,
I still haven't
and
watched
Max
it.
has it, they're gonna do everything they can to promote the shit out of it to get more people watching.
Yeah.
Those who haven't seen it, I'm still gonna check it out at some point. But I saw
I heard
that
it did
on
better in
the app.
theaters than Oppenheimer. They were gonna bring
It
that
did.
back.
It did do better than Oppenheimer.
Think about that for a minute.
Oppenheimer still did really, really well.
I'm not
For
arguing
a
that,
3-hour movie.
but
let's just like
Barbie was a fucking juggernaut.
let's just throw it out. You know that's the thing. Like we got all these movies, and you know you get all these critically acclaimed films, but then you get Barbie, and it does better than every fucking thing. It's like what the fuck?
Well, look how long Barbie's been around as a
I don't
you
care.
know,
It's just the fact. Like you know, none of the other Barbie movies did that good.
The
they
thing
were all
is, though,
animated.
they're all animated and straight to video.
Yeah.
The thing
I
with
got
this
daughters.
is, it had someone behind it who people know and already enjoy what she's done.
Yeah.
You had a strong cast going in,
Right.
and then word of mouth from how good it was. Plus, and I want to put this out there, all the people that paid their money to go hate watch this and get their feelings hurt.
Like Ben Shapiro. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, they put their money down and then
Uh-huh.
got pissed because they saw a movie that was inclusionary and was like, "Hey, we should like everyone no matter what." And they're like,
Uh-huh.
"I don't like this because women threaten me." It's like, shut the fuck up.
Women can be
Bitch.
threatening. Though.
And Ryan Gosling, I don't care what anybody says, he's a fan. He's one of Hollywood's greatest actors right now. I think he's
dude, ever since Young Hercules.
no, for
I
Christ's
would
sake.
I would feed him cereal.
I know you. You'd
But he
feed him
has-
crackers in bed.
He has to wear his Young Hercules outfit though.
I mean, he's the reason I want to go see The Fall Guy.
Yeah.
It looks good, you know. And well, Emily Blunt, because you know
That's why.
You're a
'Cause
big
she's
Devil Wears Prada fan.
I am. Yes. Wait, what? You know, the woman I think should play the Invisible Woman in the fucking Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how I even feel about another Fantastic Four movie.
No, if Marvel's doing it, it'll get done right.
I mean, look, they already gave us a pretty decent Reed Richards.
Yeah,
in
who's not going
Multiverse
to
of
play
Madness.
Reed in the movie, which is
I know,
pissing
I'm
me
like,
off.
I was like, but he's so perfect, and you could still do it with him,
Yep.
and just be like, oh, well, there's 2 alternate versions of the same guy. It doesn't matter.
That's fine by me. I still haven't watched the final David Tennant special yet because I don't want it to end.
I feel like we're all Ryan Gosling fans here.
We are.
You know,
Drive was amazing,
Mhm.
and he's really good at Nice Guys.
I just
I still have to see that
Oh,
one.
for Christ's sake!
that Young Hercules though, man. Tell you that was his best shit. You know how long it took
let's
him to
also
find a turtle that looked like that?
Let's also talk about the fact he's one of the few unscathed child actors that
Yes.
came out of the Disney system.
Yes,
Well, not only that,
and he's married to Eva Mendes.
is he?
Yeah,
I
Son
didn't
of a
know
bitch.
that. I had no idea that he was married to her.
Beautiful people marrying beautiful people. God damn it.
who knew?
Interesting. Now I do know. I can't speak for a lot of the stuff he did with Disney, but Ryan
Was he part of the
Gosling-
Mickey Mouse
Mickey
Club?
Mouse Club.
Oh.
I think at the same time as like Timberlake and Britney Spears and all them. Yeah.
He was actually part of one of my favorite of all time in horror anthology series.
Are You
He
Afraid
did-
of the Dark?
He did an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Which is on Paramount Plus.
Not
can
all
watch
of
it.
them.
Well, a good hunk of them. And you know what else is on there? I think it's the first and second season of You Can't Do That on Television. I love that
Mhm.
fucking show. I always wondered, why don't they say water after they get slimed?
I don't know.
As long as Miles Teller is in it, I'm okay with Fantastic Four. Young Hercules was a real fun with the last great. Young Hercules wasn't a kids show, okay? That was a prequel.
Yeah, don't you want to know
the
what he did to that turtle?
critically acclaimed Kevin Sorbo hit show
Oh,
Hercules.
Christ.
Wasn't Carrie Russell?
For some reason I thought Jennifer Love Hewitt was.
I don't know.
No, I think Jennifer Love Hewitt was Kids Incorporated. Actually,
Oh, okay,
that might
okay.
have been.
I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
anything
weird because
about
those two
Jennifer Love
things
Hewitt.
kind of have such a weird crossover in my
Yep.
head. And then you have Fergie, who came out of Kids Incorporated, but I think I've heard people swear she was Mickey Mouse Club. I'm like, no, Kids Incorporated.
I just don't
Just
give
like
a shit.
Mario
She-
Lopez.
I believe one of her first
He was
roles
not
was on the
AC
Peanuts.
Slater before Kids. He was not only AC Slater. He was the drummer in Kids Incorporated. Mario Lopez. I remember that.
So he was also the drummer in Zack Attack.
Yeah.
Mario Lopez has always been awful. Though.
And then the kid that played Rudy in Monster Squad was also from Kids Incorporated. It's a whole thing.
It almost sounds like there's like a fucking an assembly line of kids just coming out from Disney. Remember, Kurt Russell was a Disney kid,
Yep.
and I still have to watch the new episode of Monarch because I really like that show,
I have
the
yet to check
Godzilla
it out.
show. Yeah,
I mean,
and I'm hearing my Godzilla -1 is the best Godzilla movie ever.
I mean, let's be honest. It is.
Who are you, fucking Bray Wyatt? Oh, probably, yeah.
Movie. So I mean, we are going back to like. That's one of the things that always kind of mess with me because with the Toho films, fucking Destroy All Monsters was supposed to be like the finale. But I mean, I will say the last couple of their Godzilla films have been some of the best Godzilla shit.
Like Shin Godzilla.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna, throw out my shame here. I have not seen the majority.
I bet you
Actually,
saw
hardly
the one,
any of the Godzilla
I bet
movies.
you
The
saw
first
Godzilla
one I saw was
2000.
no. The first Godzilla movie I saw was the '98 piece of shit.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it was
But where Puff
2014
Daddy did the
Godzilla.
shit ass remakes.
Yeah, no.
You know what? That might be a worse cover than that Puddle of Mud cover that we were talking about earlier.
I don't know. At least he kept the. At
don't
least
know
he
about
kept the
that.
actual. The music sounded okay and
Yeah, it wasn't just sounding like a guy getting.
anally raped.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. No, that was the first one I saw, and then I've seen the I believe it was 2014.
I like the
Godzilla.
legendary Godzilla movies. I don't have a problem with them.
I've seen
A
that.
lot
One.
of
I
people
just
do.
I haven't seen Kong Skull Island. I haven't seen King Kong or the old Godzilla stuff.
I don't mind those ones, but
I think it's like the majority of them are on Max, I believe.
I think so.
So
Well, the
I
thing
need to
about
go through and see.
if you
them.
watch Skull Island, you got to remember that this is baby Kong. So the Kong that you see
Yeah.
in Kong versus Godzilla is
It's a later,
grown up
older,
more. Yeah.
That's what I heard people saying. They're like, I don't get it. Why was he so small in that, and then he's larger than? I'm like, did you not understand I haven't seen the movie, and I know the time.
30 some years, 40 some years. Yeah.
It's like this was a smaller.
Plus, Tom Hiddleston is in Skull Island, and Tom
let's
Hiddleston's
also
amazing.
remember the Godzilla cartoon, which was completely fucking amazing.
Fucking Godzuki.
Oh, I thought you meant the cartoon that was based on the '98 Godzilla. I was like, Jesus Christ.
No.
It's like nobody watched that, and anyone who says they watched it and enjoyed it, I seriously question your sanity.
I would.
So, anyways, Texas Chainsaw 2. What would you rate it, Jeff?
I give it like a 7.5.
7.5
On the fun factor alone, for me, this
Okay,
movie
all right.
is not to be taken seriously. There's nothing about this
Yeah,
to be
you're
taken
right.
seriously. I look at it this way. Whereas Ron said that 3D is a more direct sequel to 1, I agree with that. Yes, I said a 7. I enjoy crazy.
Maybe that's
shit.
what he's giving it.
I
Maybe,
mean, you're
maybe.
both insane.
Maybe he didn't say a question mark. So if Seraph is giving it a 7, then I appreciate that.
I
Well,
don't.
But you haven't asked me my thoughts yet, so we'll see what happens.
I just
Whereas-
lost a little bit of respect for Sarah. No, I'm just...
Whereas, like Ron said, and I agree, 3D is a more direct sequel to 1.
right.
I feel like this is Toby Hooper going, what if we just caught up with the crazy antics of the Sawyers? Just randomly what they're doing in between 1 and then this one that comes later, the 3D version. It's almost like just a crazy look into what's happening in between movies. I kind of like it. I like Chop Top. I like everything that's over the top. It's ridiculous. It's fun. I can put this on at any time. And that opening sequence with Leatherface doing the dance on the truck and killing those two guys,
With
that
Nubbins?
decapitation with Nubbins. It's a lot of fun. I think that right out the gate kind of lets you know what this movie is. It's like, look, this isn't serious. This isn't over. This is over the top. Plus, by the time you get to the end, you've got a coked up Dennis Hopper wielding two chainsaws like revolvers and swinging around this giant chainsaw dick, just terrassing through the place.
SECX
It's nuts. It is fucking nuts, and I love every second of it.
Ron, what about you? I'm curious.
So you gave it a 4.5.
Me, I gave 4.5, no higher than a 5.
You gave it a 7.5. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Sarah.
I'm gonna give it a 6, and this is why. Jim Sedow is able to just fucking eat the scenery and just be the over-the-top cook the way he should be. Chop Top is introduced, and Bill Moseley was amazing in this role. The less said about Bill Johnson as Leatherface, the better. The less said about Caroline Williams, the better. A lot of that has to do with.
You don't like Caroline Williams?
I think a lot of her politics got into her performance because a lot of the things she did a few years ago when Parasite won Best Film at the Oscars, some of the comments she made me really sour on her. And it had nothing to do. It had nothing to do with. I don't know. I just wasn't a big fan to begin with, but. Dennis Hopper, first movie out of rehab, he demanded to do this movie. His agent told him not to, and he basically told his agent to go fuck off, man.
This was one of his better roles, though, next to Super Mario.
Okay. Anyway, so
Speed.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Land of the Dead.
Zombies, man, they creep me out.
Yeah. And I don't know. There's just something about this that seems off a little bit. There's little jokes that are made that make me. Hello, shark monsters. I'm bringing my peoples in. That make me laugh, like when the cook is spelling sex to Leatherface, and he spells it SECX.
Mm-hmm.
And we get things like the Saw His Family that kind of goes through to the next movie. But I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of the luster is gone because Gunnar wasn't playing Leatherface, and he's such a pivotal role in these movies.
Yes.
And I don't know. So it just sits weird with me. And I don't think it's as bad as JB says, but I also don't think it's as good as Jeff says. So I'm kind of in that weird spot. I still put it on if I'm doing like a complete rewatch. And I love how Max has Leatherface to Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 on there now. So because
nice.
I couldn't find it anywhere before.
I was wondering how I was going to find it.
Yeah, and that's the one I'm going to lose my shit over.
Well, I mean,
because I'd prefer Next Generation to Part 3.
Well, let's be honest. Next Generation's a much more fun movie.
It is, and plus I have a connection to Next Generation because I worked with Tyler Shea Cohn.
Now, I do want to say something too, though, because you did bring up Caroline Williams.
Yes.
She did play Stretch in another film series as well.
Was it a porn series and it was about her getting stretched?
She in the fourth Sharknado film.
Oh, for Christ's sake. That doesn't help.
Yeah, okay. I was watching.
That does not help.
So there's a buddy of mine who writes for Joe Blow. They do Arrow in the Head videos and stuff. And I was watching his what he wrote for Texas Chainsaw 2, what happened to this movie. Apparently, when 3 happened, because she shows up as a reporter in 3, they're like, yeah, this is Stretch. We're keeping your character alive. This is her. And then she's claiming that the character she played in one of the Hatchet movies is Stretch, but grown up. And then the character of Stretch is Sharknado is Stretch. I'm like, no,
No.
They gave you the character of Stretch and Sharknado as an homage to your character in 2.
Yeah.
Appreciate the fact somebody on that set actually watched that movie. It wasn't just sitting there going, "We're just gonna make money off these shark movies."
Right. Yeah. In her character in Hatchet, I mean, it wasn't the same character.
No, she's claiming that she played it like Stretch but grown up. She changed her name. She married a law person and this and that, and she went chasing after the
shit.
Crowley legend because she chases after monsters.
Oh.
I'm
I wonder what her fucking story is when she did Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Then
That was Stretch too.
everything she's gonna
Hey,
do
Uncle, this is Stretch.
Like she could have been. I mean, honestly, she could have been replaced by anyone in this
Yep.
movie, and it wouldn't have mattered.
It would not.
She is not a part of this movie where I'm like, oh yeah, she makes it. No,
No, I'm
For
looking
me,
through
it's
her film
Mosley,
stuff. It
it's
doesn't look like
Seadow.
anything is good that she's done.
Yeah, I do want to say, speaking of Seadow, that scene with him at the opening chili cook-off, where we're introduced to him once again.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. They find the ring and the chili. She's like, oh, and he's like, oh, must have fell in there, and he's just trying to play off that they found it in there. It's so beautiful because you can tell he's like, fuck, we might be found out, and then just gets his shit and gets the fuck out. He's so good at chewing the scenery. He's one of my favorite parts of this movie, along with Mosley. And
those
and the
two are
effects,
the
of course.
those two definitely are the best part of this movie. There's no arguing that. I mean, hell, the cook even in the original is just such a good character. Fucking, he's just all around a fun character that I do love. But
also, hold on.
I think the dark comedy was even.
Has anybody seen what Caroline Williams put in her what do you call it? Her X profile?
No.
I just looked it up because I was looking for the Parasite comments.
Yeah.
And she calls herself horror royalty.
How?
I don't, because she was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, 10 Minutes to Midnight, Green Light, Cuddly Toys, Renfield. I haven't even watched Renfield yet.
Wait, I watched Renfield. She was in that?
I guess.
She was in Halloween 2.
She was?
The 2009 one.
Who cares?
Hatchet 3.
Again, who gives a shit?
Tales of Halloween, Tales of Poe.
Mostly
Marshall
forgettable
Lane.
roles for her, and if you don't know what she
They're
looks
all
like, you
like
don't know who the
indie
fuck it
movies.
is. It's not like a Jamie Lee Curtis. It's not like any of the.
She played
80s.
Vanessa in Renfield.
Dude, she's
Stepfather
fuck,
2.
I don't even.
It looks like she's had a lot of work done.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
She was in The Legend of Billie Jean.
Was she really? Because I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like that movie.
She was Woman in Pickup.
Yeah, then that's no.
Okay.
I actually like The Legend of Billie Jean, and I love how Christian Slater and Helen Slater are in no way related.
Yeah,
I mean,
she
let's
was
look at it this way. When people talk about the females in horror royalty, they're thinking of like, or even 80s scream queen royalty or cult movies. They're thinking of Kelly Maroney. They're thinking of Linnea Quigley. Brink Stevens.
She looks
Caroline Williams
weird.
is not going to be brought up in that conversation.
Nope.
She
She
looks
was not
really
memorable.
weird.
I'm sorry, she was not memorable.
Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. I
I
mean,
mean, that'd be
don't-
like saying, "Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis isn't that well known."
She makes me want to be regular.
I mean,
Oh,
most of us
God.
saw True Lies and we're going,
Oh. I need new pants in the theater.
I still remember I had a couple of friends who were like, well, you know that she's a hermaphrodite. I'm like, you're an idiot. One. Two, you did what everyone else did when watching that scene, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I don't know. She really bothers me because she's just like, like she's like, I think Trichopedia just said she's just trying to soak out the little bit left of her 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for her to have any kind of comment on Toby Hooper, you didn't see him when he was making his best film. You know what I mean? You saw him when he was beaten down by the studio and he had to make the picture so he could get Life Force and Invaders from Mars made.
Yeah.
I do want to throw out there too that she was in Megalodon: The Frenzy.
Oh, well, then all my opinion has changed.
I just want to make sure people know that, and I'm just so that people are very much so aware. I'm pretty
a huge
sure
fan
that's
of Megalodon the Frenzy.
I'm a huge fan of Asylum ripoffs. So
That's all they know how to do.
Yeah, but there's something great about it.
Transmorphers, the day the Earth stopped.
Right. It looks like she was also on Cuddle Toys.
I said that cuddly toys.
Oh, Cuddly
Yeah.
Toys. What is
That's
that?
just
I don't know.
that. I don't even want to.
I don't know. It looks horrible.
Maybe
Oh,
because
this
is
This is the most ridiculous comment, and I think I have a reason why she probably says that. There was part of a plot that was nixed from TCM2 where Lefty was going to be revealed as Stretch's father. And Hooper went, you know what? It doesn't make any fucking sense. We're just going to get rid of it. And I think she's clinging to that. Like, well, you know, if you went by this, it's like even Hooper said no. No. Hooper's the guy who created this franchise. He's
also
behind it, and he said
look
no.
at Caroline Williams and look at Alexandra Daddario. She got all her looks from Dennis Hopper then apparently.
I mean,
And now I can never masturbate to Alexandra Daddario because all I'll think about is Dennis Hopper and Caroline Williams, and that will ruin my penis.
Caroline Williams.
Dennis
does not
Hopper
look
with a
the same.
fantastic rack.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to think about is bright blue eyes, black hair, and Dennis Hopper's face.
Oh God. So, anyways,
Thanks, Caroline Williams. You broke my dick. I think a
Anyway,
woman's
Chris,
going to be showing up at your house very soon, very upset.
This is the Joker of I wouldn't even give her that much credit, honestly.
Like, if you go back, okay, this is very self-serving what I'm about to say, and I don't give a shit. But if you go back and you look at the articles that were written about me by Dread Central, they call me the Iron Horse of Horror because I keep putting horror shit out, like constantly on a consistent basis. I would keep putting it out. I didn't call myself that. Somebody else called me that. You know what I mean? She's calling herself horror royalty. It doesn't work that way.
no.
You know? And just because I'm the Iron Horse doesn't mean I'm good.
Yeah, you don't get to call yourself royalty. You don't get to give yourself a nickname.
Right.
You don't get to dub yourself anything. That has to be bestowed upon you by other people.
Right.
I
That's
mean,
why they call me
even-
Hunky J.
Even super Jesus Christ.
No one calls me Hunky J. No
Some
one calls
people
me
do.
Hunky J.
I didn't give myself that name.
It's like even Superman didn't get his own name. Lois Lane bestowed the name
Christ.
Superman on
Hunky
him. So
J. He was some kind of Superman.
I thought you were called Funky J.
No.
Just
Hunky
'cause
J.
That's just how he
because of the-
smells.
Just because of the weird smell coming from the
No.
you know.
And I mean, going back to nicknames, I mean, that's why they still call Dean Cain the Superman.
Oh God. Nobody calls him that.
Some do.
That's it.
I mean, getting called Superman by Hunky J, I heard is pretty good things. But
I mean, that's not wrong, Jeff. That's not wrong.
the real JB.
That's only because my last name also starts with a B, ladies and gentlemen. So technically,
They're both
there are two
JB.
JBs.
They're both JB. They both got hats. They both got beards, and I'm over here. Yeah, go to McCullough's Pub, 3700 Meacham Road, Racine. It's fantastic. That's where we do Blankfest every year.
Yeah. By the way, how did that go?
Oh, if you'd like, I can read you everything that we got.
No, I just want you to tell me how it went, good or bad. No, I'm joking. I'm
Yeah,
joking.
JB was thinking you were stealing from the homeless.
Oh no, I watched the playback,
See, all I want back is this.
and I love the way his lips never left her ass. I gotta say, it was fantastic because I've seen the movie. Oh, I've seen the movie.
Yeah,
And Uncle Ron has his thoughts on that porno.
it wasn't even a porno.
It was Skinamax level.
So it was softcore
Yeah,
porn.
I would say that Skinamax has more.
All right. So this is what we did. And if you're in the southeastern Wisconsin area, next year's year 18. But this is like our biggest year yet. 456 clothing items, including socks, hats, coats, pants, gloves, mittens, etc. 31 sleeping bags, 92 super warmers, if you're familiar with those. 150 pounds estimated of toiletries, 225 blankets, 9 comforters, and about $1,759 in cash donations. And it reaches out all of our all of the area shelters, and it even goes into Kenosha too. So that's how much we got, and we're gonna be able to help them all through the year with all the cash donations. So. And they nobody seems to like the joke when I say, this is the perfect way to do it, because I'm not going to put all the blankets on a flatbed and drive them to Mexico. Usually people laugh at that, or they groan like Jeff just did. But when we were on Racine and Me, nobody laughed, and it really hurt. And I was like, should I even be a comedian anymore?
Oh no, I was starting to laugh. I was trying to stifle a laugh. I was not groaning. I was trying to stifle a laugh, and I realized I shouldn't do that.
So I have to ask, Ron. So 225 blankets.
Yes, sir.
All right. So just curious,
Oh,
because
boy.
I did a little bit of research.
Oh boy.
And the approximate.
Approximate.
Yeah.
Now I can't. Anything you say now, I cannot take seriously, because you can't say approximate.
That's fine. Whatever you want to say. Okay. Right. Here we go. Annually, Racine has 1,000 homeless people. So, do you guys choose roughly which quarter of those people get blankets?
Actually, a lot of those homeless people are in the shelters. And they need stuff other than blankets. The blankets tend to go to our Point of Light program, where we have people who will go out into the into the air Racine area and say, hey, look, we know you're homeless. If you don't, you want to come to a shelter, we'll take you right now. But there are a lot of them who are mentally ill and won't come in, or they have too much pride and they won't go into a shelter. So we give them a care package, and the blanket is one of the items.
Right. I will say, though, just from everything that I have looked up, it looks like Racine's homeless population's been on a very large increase. Just from last year alone, up 42%.
Yeah, it's not something. The Blank Fest is something that's never going to end, and I hate that. But as long as I have breath in my lungs, and I'm able to get up and do stuff.
Could Blank Fest end if you finally raise enough blankets?
No.
Wow.
No.
Just like,
what I find is, I thought you were going to go into some weird like blanket lottery system when you were trying to tell.
I like the idea of that. I do. Like I really like the idea.
That's where I thought you were.
Like almost like a Hunger Games for blankets. Like you can figure out which quarter of the homeless get the blankets. You kind of like, not as rough as bum fights, but kind of on par.
And I wouldn't be shocked that we use a portion of the cash that we raise to go out and get more super warmers, because while we've been in the 20s and stuff like that here, I mean, it's currently, this whole week coming up, I think we're going to be in like the 30s and 40s, and it's near the middle of December.
Cold, yeah.
It's not that, but it's not as cold, and I think a lot of it has to do with global warming and everything. And but we're probably not gonna get the real bad stuff till January, and that's when we're gonna need a lot of super warmers to give out to people who won't come into shelters.
I don't think I've even heard of super warmers before.
You know those hand warmers that you can buy?
Yeah, they're the hand warmers. I was looking them up,
but they're bigger.
Sure that I was right.
They're way bigger. Like you can like put them on under your shirt and stuff.
I bet if you reached out to just them, they would do a donation anyway.
That's not a
hot
bad
hands. Idea. Just a thought there. I mean, I know.
Well, I don't go to work on Monday until 1:00, so maybe I'll be making some phone calls.
Yeah, I would contact Hot Hands as well as Uline, just as somebody who's in the industries and knows a lot about where to get the products.
Yes,
you might. I mean,
a lot of the places though, they want a nonprofit number, and we don't have one because we aren't the main Blank Fest, and we try to keep it from being that, because then once you get like law involved and shit like that, it starts to get too what's the word I'm looking for? It's not approximate. It's too it's too
sound like Michael Jackson there.
It gets too like, I don't know, corporate, I guess, and we want to kind of stay away from that.
Well, you're navigating red tape, and you're trying.
Well too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that's still cool. Have you guys thought about, instead of raising blankets for them though, just to do feety pajamas? Because I feel like feety pajamas will keep them a lot warmer. And they got them with the grippy bottoms, so they don't even need shoes. Or maybe you just don't like to see the homeless warm. Jeff says he lives out in California, trying to imagine all the homeless people walking around his house with fucking feety pajamas outside.
No, I've seen stranger sights.
Yeah.
Forget, I'm not far from LA, and
Yeah, I wonder
Yeah.
what you guys do for it, because I mean they're like shitting on your sidewalks and stuff out there.
not where I'm at, but it used to be really bad in LA. I mean,
Yeah, but it's never really super cold out there either. So they're like,
no,
yeah,
they just take up residence in one spot, and then
right.
people get a wild stick up their ass and think, oh, they're lowering our property value. And so instead of helping, they try to kick them out to another place. And then,
I think I saw that on South Park.
yeah, basically.
I might be with Shark on this one.
I
No,
mean,
you
I'm
know
down
what?
for the Lambos and the women of ill repute and the nose candy. I just don't want all that work. Who am I, fucking Joel Osteen?
The idea of
He did a really good job,
I was on Threads earlier, and I saw somebody post video footage from one of these mega churches putting on their Christmas thing, and they had a sleigh that was flying in to the stage, like over the audience. And that I'm like, these are production values
Shit,
even
like
better
Owen
than the
Hart did?
WWE.
No
Like-
shit.
I'm like, y'all have way too much fucking money, and then you go, so help your fellow man, but give us more money.
But and not
And you
only
don't
that,
do
but
anything.
not only
So
that,
things
but
like
it's like,
Fest have to exist.
yeah, but that's not only that, but it's like, okay, isn't the Santa sleigh coming in at a mega church kind of counterintuitive to the whole message of Jesus and the season?
I mean,
No,
it's
because
a
Jesus
pagan
and
thing.
Santa were best friends.
Oh, were they? Okay.
Oh, okay.
I
So
never
the whole
went to church.
pagan thing about Christmas isn't.
Yeah, and the
just
fact that
glossed
Christmas
over,
is
right?
supposed to be in October, if that's the
Well,
way we're
I mean,
going.
all right. Well, first off, I don't know where you guys get off your high horse and fucking just doing the stupid shit. we all know the true story of Christmas and
Look, you're making the frogs gay.
how Santa, Jack Frost, and George, one of the taller elves, were actually three wise men that came there to befriend Jesus and be his best friend and teach him how to make toys out of wood, which is why Jesus became a carpenter.
See, I never understood the Santa thing. Like, oh, he's got all these elves working, and they show the elves working with wood and stuff. It's like, well, when I got my PlayStation, that's not made out of wood.
By the time PlayStation came out, you were like 26.
Was I? I was 20 when PlayStation 2 came out. 20, maybe 21. So no.
So you
So
hold on.
okay, well, my regular Nintendo isn't made out of wood.
You wrote Santa a letter for the PlayStation.
Yep,
You were
when I was like 18. Santa, give me a PS1. I'm saying PS1 because there's probably going to be 5 more.
Oh fuck! Yeah,
Oh,
and
man.
you wanted the little clip-on screen, right? The 5-inch screen.
Yes.
Oh yeah, those are the best.
See, I had the OG PlayStation, not that later slimmed down PS1 thing that looked like it looked like a toy. I mean, it was cool that it was so much more compact, but I like that square one with the ridges and the fact
I
that
mean,
it was so goddamn loud.
I'm so fucking old that I remember I wasn't like the first one, but I was in like a group of the first people to subscribe to Nintendo Power. So they sent me a free game.
Yeah.
They sent me Dragon Warrior, which is now Dragon Quest.
Oh, I know.
I didn't get the free game, but I did have a brief subscription to Nintendo Power. Our parents got it for us for a bit after we got our Nintendo.
I got it the day after Christmas. I'm like, there's a ring at the doorbell, and I'm sitting here playing Mario. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I go out there, and the UPS guy, I'm looking for Ron Purdy. I'm like, first off, fuck you, buddy. And so I'm like, what the hell is this? And it's like, thank you for subscribing to Nintendo Power, blah, blah, blah. And there was Dragon Warrior.
Interesting.
I'm not from Boston, but I try to be wicked. Or the band Cold, remember that?
Either. So he actually lives close to my area.
Oh, remember that? Remember the band Cold just got wicked?
God, fuck you. So anyways, before we wrap up, we do got some really cool memes here. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
That is fair.
And I do love how these memes cover me up, but not you guys.
I'm covered. I mean, unless I do this.
Yeah, I can't even do that. Like my whole square is covered.
No, Jeff, let's just stay out. So I mean, and then let's go to the next one. Ah. Fitness.
Body on this hook.
If you're doing the podcast and not watching the live show,
You're missing out.
yeah, I mean, basically, you can fuck yourself for the next few minutes because I mean, you're not going to know anything that's going on.
Just continue to
No.
spank it to my sultry voice.
Now, I was not able to get any videos with this, but
Didn't you just spank it?
I did have some really cool news stories that I was able to check out.
I will say one last thing. This movie also suffers from the fact that they filmed an amazing segment for Joe Bob and then they cut it.
Well, I mean,
Watch it. He had a great special last night.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll just leave it at Joe Bob is a host, not an actor.
Yeah, he is.
Not a good one.
He was in Casino.
Yeah, he was damn good.
Not a good Not a good.
He was the reason everything fell apart.
I didn't like Casino.
I like Casino better than Goodfellas.
I thought Mario Brothers was. A
Oh,
better
for
movie.
fuck's sake!
So, anyways,
Are we talking about the Mario Brothers TV show with Captain Lou Albano?
I mean that was even better. But
Billy,
yeah,
Billy, Billy.
I was talking about the what was it? 90. What year was that?
Oh, you mean the one where an English guy and a Puerto Rican played two
Two
Italian
Italians?
brothers?
Yeah,
I mean you can.
and
Call
Dennis,
it
he's so, like, he's
93.
he's such a good actor, and he had to be in that fucking movie.
I
He
still
didn't have
remember.
to. I heard he chose to be in it.
Okay,
Well, everybody needs a paycheck.
I still remember commercials for the toys from that movie, and it always used to bug me because up until that movie, I had never heard Mario and Luigi referred to as Mario and Luigi Mario.
They're the
Ever.
Marios.
They're Mario Brothers, but they never once were like, "Oh, in the games, it's Mario, and Luigi Mario." That movie and those commercials pissed me off because I'm like, we didn't need to have their last names ever said. I figured they were the Mario Brothers because Mario was the star of the show and Luigi was just the hanger on riding coattails.
Let's think about it. If you had a brother, would you be the Jeff brothers? No, you'd go by your
Yeah,
last
we were.
name.
No, they were the Jeff Brothers.
Well, what the fuck's wrong with his parents naming him Mario?
Oh, let's be honest. They're
See?
Italian. That's weird.
Hey, you back up off Italians. They make good food.
That's fine, but how many names do you know for their men other than Mario?
Luigi,
Exactly. They did
Tony,
both.
Giuseppe,
Tony,
I don't know.
Vito,
Michael,
Michael,
Sonny.
Fredo,
I'm
Salvatore.
I'm just gonna say the only two that make sense to me is Mario and Luigi. So their last name being Mario is just a weird coincidence.
Yes, exactly. Ronaldo.
Santino Marella.
Oh
Okay,
no,
I
that
get it.
motherfucker is as far from Italian as you can get.
Oh, I know.
Oh, and the fact that he's even wrestling again, I just want to stab my eyes out like Oedipus.
Nunzio.
Oh Jesus. Tracy Smothers.
So, anyways, they
Oh, God.
they figured out the biggest fetishes of 2023, and do you guys know what ended up being the top fetish in the United States of 2023?
What's that?
Giantess porn.
Is that like well, one of you two hooking up with a 50-foot woman? Because I'm already big. I could handle that pussy.
It says the giantess fetish is an erotic charge that comes from being at the mercy of a fantastically large and powerful woman.
So a Norwegian?
Maybe, but I definitely wanted to make sure. It was the top searched.
I mean, I do that then.
It was the top search fetish in the United States, Japan, Mexico, and Australia.
Well, while you finish this up, I gotta go rock a piss. I'll be right back. I suddenly say that, and now I gotta get up and touch my dick. What do you?
A lot of it involves camera angles making people look larger than they are.
Forced perspective.
Yes, so
You're using forced perspective.
I felt that was definitely something worth sharing. There was also a man in Japan who blew up his entire apartment trying to kill a cockroach.
What?
Yes, and
See,
all
would
the
have figured
stories I was able
Japan-
to find, it was more about the I couldn't find any full blown in English reports, but yeah, I mean, he blew up his entire fucking apartment trying to kill a roach.
And I'm not trying to be insensitive or anything, but I would think that of anyone, Japan would have a more streamlined and efficient way to get rid of a cockroach.
Apparently not.
Or this guy's just flat out fucking nuts.
Right. It's possible.
Maybe he's from like the Florida of Japan.
What would that be? Where did we
I'm
drop the
not
bombs?
sure.
No. I heard that the people just haven't been the same since.
The thoughts and comments of Hunky J do not reflect everyone on Tales from the Podcast.
So
Legal disclaimer here.
then also PornHub did their year in review as well.
Oh fuck.
So the average self-love session this year lasted 9 minutes and 51 seconds. 93% of the porn watched was on a mobile device as well.
That makes sense.
They are saying that 36% of their viewers are women now, which is up 12%. And some of the big searches this year were older porn, mature porn, granny porn, gilf, and dilf. So
Why is it you say DILF and I pop back up on the screen?
I mean, it only makes sense.
I mean, don't forget, ladies, I'm 6'4", I'm funny, and I have a dad bod. Apparently, that's something chicks are into now.
Now, with it being Saturday right now and Monday coming up soon, I also want to show you that PornHub has also released that the most popular time to watch porn was at 11 p.m. on a Monday, while the least popular day was on Saturdays.
Well, apparently, people need to beat off after watching Raw, so...
The three most searched stars were Abella Danger, Angela White, and Eva Elfie.
I know Angela White. Like, I don't know her, but I've definitely watched some films of hers. Quite the actress.
The most viewed category in Russian was... Wait a minute, hold on. An interesting finding was that the most viewed category in Russia was called Russian porn. So Russia...
Does it mean that like it's over quick? Is it only like 30 seconds?
No, apparently Russians look up Russian porn more than any other search, which was just an interesting find.
I feel like going on there and looking up American porn on Pornhub and see what happens.
Oh, man. Well, you're kind of a glass half empty sort of guy. You're saying Monday's coming up right up already, Debbie Downer. Oh, yes. So,
not all of us can have our days mold together because you just get so in just like into code. That's true.
Yakov Smirnoff, everybody.
Yes.
My days all meld together because I work overnights, so I never know.
Fair enough.
But yeah, just so you guys know, those are just some random little news facts. Which, I mean, there were other things that occurred. I will say this was a few days ago, but there was a Florida man that got arrested for molesting a manatee mannequin.
Was he visiting Florida from Louisiana?
I don't know. It says it's a really weird
Florida
story. All right, so it says authorities in Florida reportedly arrested a man who threw gator nuggets into a restaurant and then went on to sexually molest a manatee mannequin in front of staff and customers, according to the Smoking Gun. Smoking Gun reports that
I was with you guys.
Ron Pertee was under the influence when he caused the scene at Rick's Reef in St. Petersburg.
I was with you guys at the time.
I know. Per Smoking Gun, Justin Bussell and Jeff Baldry said that Uncle Ron threw his gator nuggets and then fucked the hell out of that manatee mannequin.
That manatee was asking for it. You see the way it was dressed? You saw the way it was dressed?
It does say right here, to quote Uncle Ron, the manatee shouldn't have been wearing such a short skirt and she was asking for it.
I mean, to be fair, though, he was only violating the folds.
Yeah, I couldn't find any holes.
It says here that even though Uncle Ron did not find a hole, he found a spot to ejaculate.
I mean, at any port in a storm, right?
I mean, he glazed the gator nuggets.
I did.
Right. And then the
like a ham.
Gun also reports that it looks like
Oh, for fuck's sake, this bit's getting old.
Looks like Uncle Ron might be expecting little half mannequin manikeys soon.
Oh, so then I can sell them to Kevin Smith for Tusk 2?
Oh, let's be honest. We don't want Tusk 2.
We're getting it, apparently.
No, we're not.
I haven't
Yeah.
I haven't even seen
Why would
Tusk,
they do
so-
that? There was supposed to be a trilogy he never fucking finished.
Yeah, well.
We got Tusk, we got Yoga Hosers.
Oh, God,
We
because that's
never
like
got
a
fucking
Yoga
we never
Hosers was so bad.
yeah, but we never got Moose Jaw. I wanted
Yeah.
Moose Jaw so bad. It's basically Jaws with the moose. I mean, it fucking sounds fucking amazing.
No, he had to go tell everybody about how he had a heart attack again, but use
Well, I know
use clerks to do it.
I know that's part of the story behind Wolf Cop 2, and while he was in there is because he was actually scouting for locations for Moose Jaw, and that's when Wolf Cop 2 was actually being filmed.
I love Wolf Cop.
Yeah, and I believe
Mhm.
Matthew Kennedy and part of Astron 6 did some work on that as well,
Lugaroo.
which I love Wolf Cop. I mean, best transformation
fucking-
involving a wolf.
Isn't that French for wolf? Lougarou?
werewolf? I believe.
Yeah, werewolf, yeah.
Yeah, there's all sorts of little things throughout that movie.
Yeah, it's
It
hands it right to you.
I feel like Velocipaster wanted to be Wolf Cop, but just came up a little short. But I still love Velocipaster.
I feel like the
just as
budget
much
just
as Wolf
wasn't
Cop.
there.
What about Shark Exorcist?
Oh God!
I mean, that wasn't a bad one.
I do want to say, speaking of Florida,
That
I
was
don't know how
better
much
than the last Exorcist Believer.
you guys are familiar with.
Yeah, that was not good.
This this weirdo down in Florida, the Florida Joker,
What?
tattoos all on his face. Have you guys seen the GTA 6 trailer at all?
And
Okay.
No,
Apparently, they use this guy. They use the look inspired by this guy for a character that shows up in like a newsreel in the game.
Okay, I think I heard about this.
And now he's trying to say Rockstar owes him money for using his likeness. And everybody's like, dude, yeah, Lindsay Lohan tried that. What the fuck did she get? Absolutely nothing.
I think what needs to happen is the Milverine needs to go down there and handle him because we got some guy that walks around in like dressed looking like Wolverine.
All I
Shark
know is-
Monsters knows who I'm talking about.
all I know is
That's a
this
pretty
guy
good
has
look,
put
though.
out stuff saying they need to pay me or else I'm going to take him to court. I'm just like,
I
good luck,
mean,
dude, you look like a fucking crackhead with a bunch of tattoos on your face.
He's just
Like,
gonna get Lionel Hutz to be his attorney.
he might have a good shot. though. I
No,
mean,
money
I
down.
know.
I heard that
No.
Rockstar doesn't have enough money for good lawyers, so I encourage him to try.
That's exactly why Lindsay Lohan's case got thrown out because they have good enough lawyers, and the
I'm
judge was
joking.
like, "No, no, I know you're joking. Or just anyone out there, it's like,
That's like with Ron
Because she
DeSantis
claimed
saying
her
that the state of
likeness.
Florida is going to go after Disney. Yeah, that's smart.
You know, I will admit that
Yeah.
Rockstar does a really good job on their stuff. But I am not as excited for this GTA 6.
I'm not either.
I would much rather see an undead version of Red Dead 2 or a Red Dead 3 coming out. I much prefer that.
I think the story in Red
franchise.
Dead's told, though. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Well, I
kinda-
mean,
unless they
You
would
know,
have picked
we-
up somewhere
we,
else.
we
I haven't
thought the
played.
same thing with The Witcher, and look at this. We're getting ready for
Well, I will
season
say
4.
the reason why I like two. I like two a lot. Or no, the original Red Dead is because a friend of mine actually does the music for it. The "Bury Me Not on the Lone Prairie."
Yeah.
That's that thing that like the acapella thing. I'm actually friends with that guy. So is Shark Monsters. And yeah, so if you get a chance, check out William Elliott Whitmore's stuff. It's fantastic.
See, I haven't played either of the Red Dead games. I have one. I
I played Red Dead
I think-
Revolver the other day.
think I have Red
That's
Dead 2
not
sitting
that
here for my
good of a
PS4, but I got it just before my PS4 crashed, or not crashed, but jet engine. So I haven't been able to play it.
I
But
remember getting in line for intern to get already Red Dead Redemption 2 at the local GameStop, and I was like, "Look, I am not waiting outside at the GameStop that's out that has that in the outlet. I'm going to the one in the mall because I'm not gonna freeze my fucking ass off
Yeah, no
for
shit.
fucking John Marsden's bullshit."
I I was able to play that one like a little after midnight on release day. I had it pre-ordered for like a month.
The download was ridiculous.
Well,
Like-
I mean, how many people did you have downloading that game at one time? Like,
Yeah.
that was a huge game when it came out.
like I want to play GTA 6. I want to play whatever version of GTA Online comes out. The problem I think is because so many people were so vocal about being pissed off at Rockstar, like for 10 years we haven't got a new GTA game. It's like they also do other fucking games. Calm the fuck down. They've given GTA 5 and GTA Online so much free DLC over those 10 years that the money you paid for the game once or twice has already been put back to you. And I'll say this, if you're making microtransactions for shark cards in GTA Online, you're the idiot spending your own money. They didn't force you to do that. You can grind the game. You can grind out the game.
I don't know.
I see people complaining all the time. I spent all this money on shark cards. Like, you're proud of yourself. You spent it for
has
nothing.
the same problem that Assassin's Creed has, where it's the same game essentially over and over and over and over.
Well, that's the thing with Destiny is like the only time you need to do microtransactions is if you want to buy silver so you can get a new ship or something. You can still play the game just fine.
Yeah.
You know.
And with GTA, you can grind out missions. That's why they put these things in the game. So you can do this stuff. Get in with your friends, do these missions, make money that way. Level up, and you get access to that stuff. As opposed to leveling up, but then going, oh, well, I don't have enough money because I spent it on all these clothes, so I'm going to buy all these shark cards now. But then people say, the game's boring, and then as soon as they release an update, they all go back in and play. It's like, must not be that boring. You're just a hypocrite. Bunch of hypocritical gamers out there.
There are no happy gamers.
No, they all.
I remember back in the day when you could play Castlevania, and the only time you were unhappy is because you lost, not because this wasn't this way or this wasn't that way.
Ron, do you remember back in the day when you played Super Star Wars?
Fuck that game.
And you were mad the entire fucking time. I'm
Fuck
still the
that
only
game.
person I know who's ever like went through the game. Like done.
I hate played that game, and it's the it's only because people.
And you didn't even make it far.
No, I think I made it to like the fourth level.
I haven't even played that game.
Dude, it is.
I don't think I made it past the Sandcrawler.
I had to talk Ron through while he was on Twitch doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen footage of people playing it and getting frustrated, so I'm like, no, I'm good. The only Star Wars games I've ever played was Jedi Fallen Order.
I'm not playing it. Superman 64.
And
no.
the most two recent was it Battlefront?
Yeah.
Those two. Those are the only ones I've ever played. I take that back. Force Awakens was the other one I played on.
Fallen Order is not bad. It's not bad.
No, it's actually really fun.
Yeah.
You never did Knights of the Old Republic?
Aren't they putting out a reissue or something? They're remastering it.
There's a lot of remastered stuff.
I'm going to let you know right now that 1 and 2 both fantastic.
I've heard that they're really good.
Great games.
Never got a chance to play them.
Oh, dude. I mean, I absolutely adore them. But I mean, I own multiple versions of them.
I am also a big Superman fan, and I refuse to play it. Refuse.
You know, me and Trekopedia were talking the other day, and he agrees with me that Dean Cain is the best Superman.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And
no. I'm gonna read my mail from today.
I
got a big stack of mail here.
I have the Empire Strikes Back on Atari, and I haven't even played that.
Really?
And I still have a working Atari, and all the games still work.
I remember I had what's the Atari that could play 26 and 7800s, the 52 or something?
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I had that. And I remember there was a game I played. I don't remember the name of it, but I never beat it. And it always pissed me off. And you're a ship and you're flying above. And at the end, there's like this big ass mothership that you have to drop bombs in the middle of the mothership. And I just cannot remember the name of it.
Yeah, I can't remember at all.
But I remember playing Pitfall and all that kind of stuff. And I remember one time I was at home and I was home alone and I was going to play video games and there was a VHS tape on top of my Atari and I went to go move it and it was Indiana Jane.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello.
I didn't watch it because I wanted to play my fucking video games. Mm-hmm. And I wish I had now because apparently it was Indiana Jones with nothing but lesbians.
Let me put it to you this way.
Did you see that they released an Indiana Jones Chia Pet?
No.
All right, just thought you guys.
But I want them to re-release Emperor's Tomb.
I do want to say this. At the time Ataris were popular, and Ron, you'll remember this because JB's way too fucking young.
Yes, he's a baby. His hair's still wet from the fucking womb.
The Atari 2600 we had, that was my dad's. because it was a point of like entertainment for when your friends came over. It wasn't just like kids play video games. So the
No,
whole
it was.
thing with,
Well, mine was because my mom didn't give a shit. But I think I want to say my grandparents got it for me because my grandparents basically got me whatever I wanted, and then intern came along, and that all went to hell.
but they
Fucking
were
bitch.
those were marketed as family entertainment. It was for the
Yeah.
entire family, or when you had
Well,
friends
Nintendo
come
was the
over.
Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah. So this whole thing where people are like, video games are for kids. I'm like, they were never marketed just for kids.
And if
They
you've
had
ever gone
kids'
back,
games,
have you ever gone back and
but-
tried playing the original like Disney games? They're fucking impossible.
Mhm.
I tried playing the Uncle Scrooge one or whatever it
DuckTales
was.
is fucking hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aladdin's fucking hard.
Oh, there was a couple of Mickey Mouse games. There was one I had on Game Boy, and it was fucking frustrating because I couldn't beat any of the levels. I'd get so pissed, I'd throw the game out and put in my Ninja Turtles game.
Oh, fuck that game too.
I'd follow the Foot Clan.
That's
Oh,
right.
I had the original Turtles on the NES, and
I did watch Sarah beat the entire game in one sitting though.
I got past the dam once or twice as a kid, and I was like, "Holy crap! I finally made it!" And then, of course, when you turn the game off, what happens? It doesn't save. You don't have save states or anything like you do now. There was no memory cards back then.
Yep.
Just like with Mega Man 2, I had to stay
Oh,
up
yeah.
and play it for hours in order to beat it.
I remember
I'd
my
get all the little
favorite.
passcodes and stuff in a little book I had.
I remember I beat him. I beat Mega Man while I was in school.
I remember I had to finish a level in Mega Man 3, and my mom let me go to school late so I could beat it. She's like, "He had a doctor's appointment."
We were getting ready to go on family vacation out of state when I was younger, and I could not sleep that night because I was excited to get on the road because I loved road trips. So I was up at 2 a.m. I was like, well, might as well play some Mega Man 2. So from 2 a.m. until 6:30, I played that game and beat it with like 30 minutes before we were walking out the door.
Nice.
And I was like, telling my brother, I beat the game. He's like, I don't care. I'm tired. It's like, wake up, you little fucker. My younger brother, I'm like, wake up. I just beat Mega Man 2. This is a huge accomplishment.
He wasn't there for your huge accomplishment.
Nope.
And that's when Jeff killed his brother.
Yep.
No, I just locked him in the sharpshooter.
Oh Jesus.
Was that a thing
Hey.
back then?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know Jeff's a lot older. Like I just didn't know that that move was around in the 60s.
Fucking son of a bitch. I'm gonna send you some shit in the mail. Literal, shit. My
funny.
shit.
You still use mail. You old fuck.
How else am I gonna get shit to you? UPS refuses me service anymore.
Well, I mean,
You send one 12-pound box of feces to somebody.
right. Ah, well, I mean, with Ron showing that, I feel like it's a good time for me to say, go over to talesfromthepodcast.com, check out this comic book. If you haven't got it yet, you're a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah, because issue 2 is actually in the works.
It is in the works.
Do we have a timeline?
I haven't asked for a timeline. I am not rushing what it is and just hoping for the best.
Is
I
it
also-
the Snyderverse
I'm also-
timeline?
Oh God, I'm also going to declare it now. I am the sexiest video game character ever, and you guys will find out why that is later.
I am going to be talking to my developer on that, and we are going to be figuring out a way to have said character rape a manatee mannequin in it.
Well, at least I don't look like Jamie Josta's illegitimate son.
There
I
was
heard
a
that's
joke
pretty
that I
tough.
wanted to say, and I refused to do it because, see, I was staying away, and then I took it off the screen as soon as you put it up.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
I was not going there. I thought about it, and I was like, no, I'm not bringing it up. I'm gonna be nice this week. And in swoops Trekopedia.
Well, I mean, as you do. But anyways, like always, you can check out Jeff over on Skewered Universe and his podcast
Yeah.
over there, which he is doing his Christmas movies right now. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
We are getting ready to release tomorrow because I had a little setback today with some editing stuff. We are going to release our first episode for the December horror series we're doing. And we watched Deadly Games, aka Dial Code Santa Claus, a little French movie from 1990.
Nice.
Wow.
And wow is a good description.
Wow. I remember when Joe Bob showed that. That was fucked.
I'm going to say this. If you've ever wondered what a movie would be like if it was a little bit Die Hard, a little bit Rambo, and a little bit Home Alone, that's basically Deadly Games, but in French.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound bad. It might be the best thing French has ever put out next to fries. French fries
They're
are
from
good.
they're from Belgium.
French fries are?
Yeah.
I refuse to believe.
Go ahead.
Just like Jean-Claude Van Damme is.
Yeah, the potato
Well,
from Brussels.
What about the French baguette? Is that
Well, isn't that's what we like to call Ed Gale. But the Ron Pertee show is in full swing. Last week we had Nikki Farce on. She's an e-girl and a writer and an artist and an actress.
what is an e-girl?
I asked the same question. If you want to find out what an e-girl is, watch the show. If you go to
tell me.
no, because I forgot what she said. If you go to I'mUncleRon.com, the episode's there. You can sign up for the newsletter, which will get out updates and everything. And this Tuesday at 11 p.m. Eastern, I will have Seraph on, and there might be an announcement, and we're gonna chit chat, and we're going to talk about life, love, and the pursuit of a good Jason movie.
Fair. Sounds interesting. I guess with that said, remember, go talesfromthepodcast.com. You can find all the links to Ron. You can find all the links to Jeff. You can find all the links to me and the comic book, our merch. And we also have our Patreon as well as our donation links there. If you
Don't forget to sub to me on YouTube and Twitch, Trekopedia.
He said to these guys, that means all of us.
Yeah, I know.
Ron's
But he
like,
hasn't
"Oh,
yet."
Me.
Well, no, but he hasn't yet, is what I'm saying. God
gives a
damn it.
fuck?
I give
By
a
the way,
fuck.
Good job,
I-
Trekopedia. You at least sub to the best one.
I
Eat
looked
my
up
balls.
I looked up the definition of e-girl and e-boy as well. I would say it's too long to read out here, so go
Yeah.
check out Ron's show where you'll get the definition.
Yeah. And you'll get to see an e-girl who will tell you about her trials and tribulations with the porn industry, as it were, and its fans.
Oh, very cool.
Because fans are just as bad as the industry.
Remember, everyone, too, though, to donate
Not
to our
surprising.
PayPal link. All the money there will be going towards making sure Ron does not rape any more mannequins of manatees. So, unless you are pro-rape on manatee mannequins, which, I mean, that's all you. I would.
It's a victimless crime.
I suggest you donate for the cause. We are tired of seeing all of these manatee mannequins violently raped by the 3-inch.
There was no violence. It was love.
He lit fucking tea lights all around, man.
Exactly. It was like Sting was going to show up.
Tea lights. You're so old. Nobody uses tea lights.
Look, Ron uses tea lights, okay?
Wow. What a fucking comment.
That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, we delete that, man.
Nobody gives a fuck about that.
What the fuck?
What a douche.
Don't you come in here and start spouting off that shit, motherfucker.
Quit talking about football.
See, he's
The
not even. Did you
foosball.
subscribe to us on iTunes and
My
review
mama
us?
say it. My mama say it. My mama say it.
There you go. It's like you fucking mixed up fucking Elmer Fudd and fucking Forrest Gump.
Bobby Boucher.
Have you not seen The Waterboy?
You know, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. I don't think I've watched that movie in probably 15
Water
years.
You the
is
devil.
better.
You the devil.
Gatorade.
Just use it.
All right. Anything else, guys? Texas
December
Chainsaw 3 next week. Ron said.
December Horror Skewered Universe Podcast. Deadly Games, Dial Code Santa Claus. Check it out tomorrow when it's released.
There you go.
And we're going to have word from the foremost expert on Texas Chainsaw Massacre next week and what he thinks of Chainsaw 3.
Who's that?
Joe
Toby
Bob.
Hooper, back from the dead.
Oh,
He doesn't know anything about part 3.
All right,
like,
guys.
I didn't like that one.
Well, we're
Man,
done.
I didn't like that. Man. Who says man more, Toby Hooper or Dennis Hopper, man?
I don't know.
Man.
So, anyways, with that being said, go fuck yourself, and the crypt is closed.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for listening, kiddies. You're all a scream.